that got up above its 50-day moving average. This was back on May 20th. It's a date easy for me to remember. It's my daughter's birthday, but May 20th is when we got up above the 50-day, and that's when the market seemed to take off. So we've had a pretty good run. There's still some setups out there, but it's getting a little bit thin. So I'm getting a little bit cautious about what's going on in the market right now.
Yeah. What is your, Jason, I know you take a longer view. How is your view of the market action and how that's influencing, are you getting more aggressive, less so, in the last several days?
Last several days, nothing, or I haven't done much in the market in terms of increasing or decreasing exposure. But yeah, I would second what Harold said. I think the general market is a little bit extended now. I mean, it's a pretty broad-based market. We're having, oil rally, financials rally, technology rally. I am overweight technology, a lot of those names. They're doing well, but they need to consolidate or at least get some type of improved catalyst moving forward. So, a pause for like some of these names is wouldn't be uncommon here.
Gotcha. Ken, any sectors that you really think are a lot of stocks actionable, or are you still finding plenty of buying opportunities out there?
No, not really. Kind of, in line with what Jason was saying. I've, got some winners that I'm letting just kind of sit and ride with. DocuSign and CrowdStrike are two good ones. When it comes to kind of new buys, I mean, I've tried some stocks on for size over the past couple of weeks, and after a week or two, I'm up, maybe 1 or 2%. So they're really not moving, and that's sort of a signal to me to just kind of sit tight, let your winners work. Look for sell signals if they arise, but not seeing any in a lot of my current holdings. But when it comes to new buys, just kind of being patient and not being too aggressive at this point.
There's nothing wrong. A lot of the money's made in the sitting, and so if just especially with the market being, it's definitely a confirmed rally, but as Jason and Harold was saying, maybe a little extended. The breadth isn't that great. So, not necessarily have to be that aggressive on adding. But one stock that would we consider adding, Ken, what do you think about Ford? Nice pop today on earnings. There are reservations on the EVs. They said they're already profitable in the Mach-E, which they just need to make more of them, honestly. What do you think about Ford right here?
Yeah, it was a really strong quarter, and the stock is benefiting as a result. This is a nice mentioned in the news, just a gap above the 50-day moving average, and breakout over a trend line as well. So you can see the stock is already off its high. I'm not a buyer today, but. But we'll see. I mean, if the stock can show that buying demand is sustained throughout the day, and it manages to climb back towards that 15 level, that would certainly be encouraging price action. I can see why some people may want to nibble here, but you can see that early gain has already faded, but nice gap above the 50-day moving average.
Yeah, and just have to see how that goes a little while longer. Just to bring up, GM has earnings next week. It's up a little bit, so it hasn't done as well. Something to keep an eye on in that space. VW, they had earnings. They haven't opened up yet, I believe, but they had earnings this morning. Stock isn't moving yet. Just to watch those. And let's see here, PayPal. Lots of people asking about PayPal. But apparently there's a little bit of transmission delay. So Harold, what do you think about PayPal, which has still not come up? So let me see. There we go. Oh, it was there. It was coming up, but it's.
Oh yeah, I finally got it up. Yeah, it was slow coming up, but wow, you had that gap down today. So yeah, it must have been on earnings. Yeah, they reported earnings, and whatever happened with the earnings, the market didn't like it. So it's gapped down. Now it's finding support at its 50-day. That's the red line on the chart. Who knows? You might get a reaction like we saw with GNRC yesterday. So if you're in the stock. Um, just kind of hold tight. Nice thing about the 50-day moving average, it's in an uptrend, but we're finding support at that 50-day right now. So it's a wait and see. As far as if you're in it, want to wait and see, I don't see any kind of buying opportunity in the stock just yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, yeah, if this thing rebounds, people say, oh, it's obvious, you buy it off the 50-day, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
right there. I'll also notice that this is why we talk about heading into earnings, that unless you're like have this a big cushion, that you may want to. There wasn't much of a cushion for anybody who bought at this breakout. And actually, in the aftermarket, it actually got below. Initially, it got below this early entry even. So even if there was a decent entry, so that's why we talk about it at times that unless you have a really good cushion, a decent cushion, you may not want to hold through earnings because of this kind of situation. Again, it might bounce back, but that makes it difficult in that regard. I have to see how that goes throughout the day. Let's see here.
This is an IBD long-term leader.
Yeah.
It is a leaderboard stock. Our initial position in PayPal was all the way back in May last year, a few weeks after we got those nice follow-through days for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq in early April. So yeah, right in that area. There is where we added it. So we're gonna give this the benefit of the doubt for now and hope that support holds at the 10-week moving average. But I mean, bottom line is you had a material slowdown in earnings and sales for PayPal. This is a stock that definitely sells at a high valuation, a premium multiple, and when you give Q3 sales guidance that's below the consensus estimate, that market is generally not going to respond to that very well. So it's holding the 50-day line for now, and we'll see if that support level holds.
Gotcha. And let's see here. I'm just trying to get through some stocks that are really actionable or possibly actionable, really moving. Align Technology. Harold, I'm going to ask you about this one again, because I know this is one you've looked at a number of times. There we go. What are you doing with Align? Have you held it, grit your teeth through earnings, or what did you do with this stock?
I grip my teeth through earnings, and it's paying off. So
yeah,
it's working. That's the bottom line. So I was fortunate in that regard. Didn't have much of a profit in it, so it was a gamble. I had to admit it was a gamble. Normally, I would sell out of the stock because I didn't have enough profit in it to hold on to it. I like to have at least 8 to 10 profits cushion going into it. I had neither, so technology's doing well. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna hold on through it and see what happens. And so far, I've been fortunate. It had a nice pop to the upside.
Yeah, this one's sort of been tricky. Like time and time again, it's flash buy signals, and then it just keeps on sort of tricking around. But this time, maybe it really will go. Yeah, just tremendous growth. I mean, it's just amazing how the growth is here. Let's see here, and going to go back over to in a couple stocks that you were looking at, Jason. Shopify. What do you like about Shopify? How do you read this? And you got this a long time ago too, right?
Yeah, it's been a core holding for some time now. Yeah, I think look, Shopify's like $180 billion market cap. I think over the next 5 years, if it grows between 20 and 25%, it'll pin it at like a $500 billion market cap or slightly over that. I think that's about right. I think there's few companies out there in the marketplace today that can truly disrupt their industry groups. When you call a company that's like, oh, this is the next acronym like Google or Netflix or anything like that, I think Shopify is truly one of the only few